We're so pleased to welcome in Patrick J. Buchanan, political commentator, advisors to presidents of the past, and author of the book, The Greatest Comeback: How Richard Nixon Rose from Defeat to Create the New Majority. Pat, it's so good to have you back on America's Forum.
Thanks very much, JD. It's good to be here.
Well, Pat, you've previously said that Joni Ernst is a hot ticket with pizzazz. Now she's senator-elect. What will that mean for Iowa, and what will it mean for the Republican Senate?
I think she's an enormously attractive figure. She's a gal with a real sense of humor, with a fighting spirit, who was an underdog and came in to win in what is a moderately blue state in presidential elections. And to take that Senate seat, I think all the eyes will be on her in Washington, D.C., and I think she's got a real opportunity to be something of a national star.
This Iowa race certainly had some curious moments. With all that went on, was it a distraction for voters or was it an attraction? Did it bring people to the polls there in America's heartland?
Well, I haven't seen the figures and compared them with 2010 or anything, but I think that clearly to me, and I didn't go out to Iowa, but I saw the ads here and I saw the reports coming from there, and it made what was sort of a blah election seem to be very exciting and very interesting. And clearly Joni Ernst was the one that was drawing all the attention there and people going out there. Of course, it's as I can tell you, it's the first caucus state and the first in the run-up to 2016, which brought a lot of folks out there. She'll have a great influence over that question as well. The presidential election of 2016, the Iowa caucus is probably in January sometime. Iowa straw poll is coming summer. So I think, again, you've got a very, of all the folks who were elected, she is certainly one of the most interesting and will pick up much of the media.
And in the firmament of GOP female political stars, does she begin to eclipse former Governor Sarah Palin?
Well, I think she has the same kind of attractiveness that Sarah Palin had at the start, and that Michelle Bachmann gained in the Iowa caucuses. I mean, being a very attractive, outspoken person, a woman in the GOP, full of passion and full of hardcore philosophy. And so I think she's got a real potential to become that kind of leader.
You know, Pat, the role women play is one that cropped up in this Iowa Senate race, indeed cropped up in races across the country. Let's take a listen to what now Senator-elect Joni Ernst had to say about that.
I have been to war. I am a combat veteran. This is not a war on women, and anytime Democrats are using the word war, they need to do it to honor our servicemen and women.
Joni Ernst on the Fox News channel. Does that response really crystallize the way Republicans should deal with Democrats and the, quote, war on women?
Well, it's certainly extraordinarily effective on her part, and speaking as a woman. But the idea that, for example, that because Republicans stand up for the right to life of unborn children, they're somehow anti-woman. I'm sure half of those who are aborted are baby girls. And so I think that the idea that Republicans are waging a war on women is an absurdity. I mean, they have principles and values and beliefs about women and about their role in society, which are quite traditional, but I think in no way or any way can be determined to be hostile to women.
Pat, about a minute remains in this segment. We take a look at Colorado, and of course, Mark Udall tried in vain to import the war on women to his state, to the point where he started being called Mark Uterus. Does this demonstrate that perhaps we've turned the corner on this thing?
I think you have. When Udall it really cost him. There was a recoil and a backlash against it. And I think people, especially folks in the center and independents and others, say this is an absurdity. Exactly how is the Republican Party waging war on women? Yes, they tend to be a pro-life party. Yes, they tend to oppose same-sex marriage. They believe in traditional marriage. But how is this somehow anti-women? It is simply pro-tradition, pro-conservative, as it's always been.
And we will have to leave it right there, Pat. We're going to have you back following the break. Stay with us. More with Patrick J. Buchanan coming up on America's Forum.